morning. Does it get your attention yet? Wake up! Wake up! Let's go, let's go. All right. I did that just for the picture so you come on. Anyway, good morning to you. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I'm going to share that in just a moment. Let me just, I think I shook my head around. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Daily Dose. It's episode 101 of the Daily Dose. And I'm excited about today. I'm going to be sharing with you how to become more flexible when you're over 40 and why you should, truly. And obviously, like, it's pretty inevitable. Like, that's what we should be striving for, because what happens when we get older, we get less flexible, right? In fact, it probably happens a little bit earlier than 40. In fact, maybe you're in your 20s and you're like, just not flexible. Now, what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about like your life, flexible in your life. I'm talking about physically speaking. Since I'm the fitness coach, I probably should talk about fitness every once in a while. I'm going to be encouraging to you because I hope this can be maybe a light bulb that goes on and to provide as much value as you can, especially if you're over 40 and maybe you're struggling with your flexibility, like physical flexibility we're talking now. Not emotional or spiritual, we're talking physical flexibility. That's where the topic is today. So if you came on here wanting me, I already ranted this morning. I did that earlier. If you want to go back and check that out, go for it. Is I thought a good one and maybe a challenging one for you. But this might even be as challenging as well, because we're talking about being flexible, how to become more flexible. And you're like, well, Mark, I'm older. Like, I'm 50 years old. There's no chance. And I'm here to tell you that there is. In fact, I've seen it time and time again if you have the right tools and you understand what to do. But what happens to our bodies when we get older, right? If I'm sitting right now, and maybe you've had a desk job, maybe you've been sitting around on the couch over the last 90 or 100 days while you've been in lockdown. Your body's locked down. Like, it's like, so we could talk about like legit being locked down, and then let's just talk physically speaking. When we get older and, things like, which we never expected to get locked down, our bodies sometimes even lock down. So I want to be encouraging to you and give you some really high value. If you don't know who I am, if this is your very first Daily Dose, my name is Mark Avens. I'm the creator of the Lean Body Breakthrough. So I actually am an online fitness coach. I don't know where that came from, but as an online coach, I've been in the health and fitness industry for 2.5 decades. Oh my goodness, 1995 is when I first started personal training. Haven't stopped. Gyms, training, coaching, all that stuff, golf fitness, personal training. Now I'm an online coach. I've developed over the past 25 years of my experience this Lean Body Breakthrough online coaching program. What it is truly a mentorship and coaching program to help busy moms and dads, active people, I say active, wanting to be active, but busy people who are looking to lose weight and keep it off without long workouts and impossible diets. And one of the things that is of value to my coaching clients is understanding this reality about flexibility, because if you don't work it, it's like if you don't use it, you lose it, right? And that may happen at a younger age. But why it's so important over 40 is for a lot of different reasons. But I wanted to share with you how, not so much the why. Of course, you need to be able to be fairly flexible when you get older. Maybe you just weren't that guy. I'm going to just share with you. Maybe I'll just get up and demonstrate. I won't do that. I used to be that guy that couldn't touch my toes, and I don't think you'll be able to see it right now because of the way I have my phone. But I used to be like, I could reach past my knees, and I didn't know how I could become flexible. And then I discovered in my own fitness journey how to become flexible. And it took more than just stretching. You see, yoga, while it is good, it's not really the only way or even necessarily the best way. It's just one way, and it happens to be a mainstream way. But I want to share with you what happens really, really quick. I brought some, and if you didn't watch, you saw this. I'm going to come back to this. Let's see if this works. Okay. Feels good right here. This thing is one of my favorite tools. Oh, we're going to come back to that in a moment. But flexible, let me just share with you. Don't worry, come back. I got all kinds of tools with me today. All little props, I should say, tools, props. Okay, think of your body like this as you get older. And as it get older, get tighter, right? It gets tighter. Maybe when you're younger, your muscles were like this, right? Maybe there was flexibility in your muscles. Maybe you had good pliability and you were able to touch your toes and you were able to bend and stretch and bring your leg up and reach behind your back and all those things. And then over time, it just got harder, right? So this became this. Like, it's not moving at all, right? It's not moving at all. So that's essentially what happens to our bodies and our muscles. And some of you, maybe even at a younger age, and when you get older, it just gets worse, especially if you're not moving, especially if you're sitting around doing nothing, if you have terrible health habits. And I would say the flexibility component, everybody thinks they just need to stretch the muscles out. And truly, that's not necessarily the case, because your muscle also has a density property to it, the pliability to it. In other words, it's kind of like, and this is how I share it, it's like my favorite topic in the entire world. I hope it is yours too. If not, we probably can't be friends. And that's pizza. You see, one of my favorite things to talk about is pizza. And I love, and we're not going to just talk about like what's better pizza. It's, you know, New York slice is basically the only slice now. I'm not necessarily wanting to run out to New York to get one right now, but I would just say is that my favorite topic to talk about is pizza. And what happens when they're making pizza is they take the dough. If you go to any like real pizza joint, and they take the dough, you can't just throw it on the table and put it into a crust and make. You have to knead the dough. You have to soften up the dough. And unfortunately, when we get older, our dough, so to speak, our muscles and our body's ability to move, to stretch, get harder. It's like if you were to leave the dough out for like months and months and months, it'd probably get hard, right? And you wouldn't be able to pull it apart. If you did, it'd probably break, right? And that's what happens to us and our bodies. So just on that note, just think of that in your mind of pizza dough. So what do? They let it sit, and then they don't let it sit and like rest too long. And then they knead the dough, right? And they soften it, and then if they're really good, they spin it in the air, and they make it really pliable. And then they put it down, making the crust. Well, that's what your body essentially needs as well. And it can't just happen by just stretching, because what happens is your muscles, your fibers, when they get older, they get tight, and you can't. But what you can do, and why I brought this tool on, this is a little massage tool, and they make all different kinds. They make high end. This is kind of like a middle line one. This is basically a self-massage tool, and I'm just doing it on my neck because I actually did some trap work yesterday, and it feels really good. And that's kind of like one version, but there's also lots of tools and things that I actually have in my class. I'm not going to go into all of them because you're going to need to come into an expert's world if you want to know how to use these. This is a foam roller, if you can see it from here. This is another version. I love this. It's called a Rolga. Here and here. If you want to know where to get them, send me a message. I'll send you a link. You can get them yourself. But this is what's called a foam roller. You may have heard those before. And what that does is kind of like what would do, like if you were to say a rolling pin, doing like a crust, making a crust for something, or a pizza, rolling it out. That's one tool. I have another tool here. You may have seen this. Runners probably have seen this, where you can actually do very similar. It's basically these kind of rotating. So this actually works on softening the tissue, just like a rolling pin would, and you can do that. And I'm just showing here my nap, but you can essentially do everywhere on your body, your legs, your calves. You can go in behind here, get your back, you do all that stuff. It's great stuff. And then there's like things like this, a tennis ball, where again, you can even do things if you have tightness maybe in your forearms, maybe you do something, you can roll out on your forearms. You can put it, I love this one, especially under the foot. You can put it under the foot. And again, what am I doing with those things? And why are you sharing with me all these toys? This is honestly one of my favorites, but I'm going to share with you one of my indulgences. One of my things in the last couple of years that I've done, and actually it is really kind of a splurge, and you're going to probably call me a high maintenance kind of guy. Good morning to you. Good morning. And it's just that I know the value of my taking care of my body and how important it is to me, so that I can do the things that I want to do in my life. I want to be able to surf. I want to be able to still, believe it or not, skateboard, just kind of cruising around. I want to go, like we went snowboarding just before the lockdown, and that was a blast. And what did I bring? I literally brought this with me when I went on the trip so I could roll out and get my body prepared. So how to become more flexible, you have to learn. There's lots of great tools and lots of great strategies to do and to learn. But if you just say, hey, I'm just going to do a stretch class, and you're wondering why you can't get more flexibility in your body, chances are you're just doing it wrong. The reality is you can get more flexible, and I highly suggest, and here's why. Not just so that you can do the things that you want to do, is that something doesn't happen to you that's going to prevent you from being able to do anything at all. In fact, one of the worst things that I see happen is people who are either not working out or work out too hard, they get injured. And typically, a lot of times, it's because of their body's flexibility, their body's ability to move. I'm just going to break it down as basic as I can because I think it'll be the easiest to help you understand. You see, when you when you get older, our bodies get older too. Our muscles get older. We have to take care of our body. We have to take care of our joints and our muscles. And one of the ways to do that is to make sure our bodies move appropriately, move the best they can. Listen, when you look at a child, a young child, and when they are, so you can see them playing with a toy, maybe like 2 years old, and you see them squat down and their butt's touching the floor, and they can put their arms all the way around their bodies and all that stuff. We used to have that ability. We used to actually be able to move well. We lost that ability over years. What happens is you're not just not flexible, you lose the ability to move well over time. And if you don't use it, you lose it, like I said earlier. So these are just some tools that can help you in that. Now, how to use them properly, obviously, you're going to need a little instruction and direction. Sure, you can go the quick fix method and go, I say quick fix, you can just go search it up on YouTube. You can get everything free on YouTube, right? Or Google search it and all that kind of stuff, and just go ahead, try it. But I would highly suggest you look at the other things. Now, here's the other thing. Like, what else is there beyond? Like, tell me more, Mark. This is really interesting. Well, I'll say one of my indulgences, I would say, because I do invest some money in it, and I've done it for the last couple of years, is I have a massage therapist. I have somebody that I work with that actually can work their hands in areas. And you know what's been really awesome about that? I have a little bit of tightness and working out here and there. And when I go to this massage person, by the way, if you live local and you're looking for a great massage person, I have just the person for you. So you let me know and I will connect you with her. She's awesome. She's been doing it for a long time. Dawn, if you're listening right now, I'm plugging you. But listen, I've been working with her on and off for years, and really more recently on a monthly basis every month. And there's some things like, first thing, say, hey, how's the body feeling? What's going on? And I'll share with her, and then she'll work out areas that I can't do by myself. And you know, whoa, that's kind of expensive. It isn't when you think of the things that it can prevent from happening. You can get an injury that can cause you to lose a job, that could potentially cause you to lose, you know, things that you want to do and things that you want to enjoy. That's what I look at in the prevention side. It's hard maybe for the average person to say, oh, well, I'm not spending $50, $75, $100 on a massage a month. But you can the reality is, let's just talk when we're in our 70s together and see how your body's doing, how tight it is. And I guarantee you, the preventative measures I'm making right now are going to make me far better off. And I'm not saying you have to go get a massage therapist. I'm saying that to learn things like the massage stick, or this tool, I think it's called a Pure Wave I use, and a tennis ball, foam roller, things like that. And those are truly going to be the most valuable in helping you become more flexible, especially over 40. You see, when we get over 40, things, and I have to say it's not at 40. Some of you, it's over 30. In fact, unfortunately, the way we've been going and the way we've been pushing hard on our bodies, people in their 30s are feeling like they're in their 40s. I'm getting people reaching out to me that are in their early 30s and saying, I know, Mark, you work with people over 40. I mean, that's kind of your deal. And you're like, why do you just work with people over 40? So that's the season of life I'm in. I'm almost going to be 50 I'll be 48 in another month, in 2 months. And so I'm coming around the bend to hitting that 50-year mark. And I'll tell you what, there's some things, some tools, some strategies, some valuable things that if you can get this now, and if you're listening in your 30s, if you can learn these things now, it's going to far better set you up for success when you're my age. So if you're in your 30s and you're struggling and people reach out like, Mark, I don't want to wait till I'm in my 40s. I want to do it now. And you know what? Those are smart people. They want to learn what they need now. So when they get in their 40s and 50s, they're not feeling like they're in their 60s or 70s and not really good shape. So anyway, that's all I have. How to become flexible over 40. And here's what it can set you up with, just on a grand scheme. When you can become more mobile and more flexible, not only do you lower your risk for injury, but you also set you up for success when you're on the right exercise plan. Because when you're on the right exercise plan, you could have the best exercise plan in the world. You can have the best exercise plan in the world. But if you can't move your body well, how good is that exercise plan going to be for you? You could still do it, and you know what happens then? You do the best exercise plan in the world, yet your body still can't move, and then you get pissed off because you can't do it. And then what happens? You force through it, and then what happens? You get injured, and guess what happens? Then you have to go see your doctor, and guess what happens? And he's going to say, hey, Mark, I'm sorry, you didn't take care of yourself. I know that's a great workout you've been doing, but you know what? You got an injury now, and guess what? You're not going to be able to work out, and guess what? We're going to have to do some surgery on there now, and guess what? Then the rehab's going to be X amount of months, and guess what? You're going to have to start from ground zero again. So do yourself a favor, save yourself a little time, learn the tools that you need, Take action now, whatever age you're at, whether you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. If you need help, reach out, send me a message. We'll talk about it. This is a daily dose of encouragement. My encouragement to you today is to learn how to become more flexible. And if you haven't caught this, come back and watch some of the video. I say not some of it, watch all of the video. And if you need more help, if you want expert help, I don't have all the answers. I'm going to say this every single time. If I'm saying if you want help, I don't have all the answers. I'm not going to claim to. Of course, I have 25 years of experience. I've worked with thousands of people. I know what I'm doing. It's sometimes worth that investment to have peace of mind and to know that you don't have to keep searching for an answer. When you have coaches like me, and I'm only one, there's lots of coaches. If we're not a right fit, I'll point you in the direction. Somebody can help you. Reach out to me. Let's jump on a quick call. We'll see if we're a good fit to work together, and we'll take it from there. Take care. God bless. We'll see you.